California, criminal defense attorney Ashley Barganquist. Ashley, your thoughts on how the defense is handling this case? Is there anything you would do differently, or is this the best that they can do with some of these really problematic facts?
There are a lot of facts that the defense has to figure out whether they're going to address and risk bringing more attention to them, or whether or not they want to address them on the stand, if you would. This is a case where you have some complicated timelines going on. You have some who's actually on the other side of these messages. You have all sorts of conflicting, he said, she said, etc. So I think that the defense is playing it pretty safe, which I certainly can't blame them for in this case. There is always the risk of over-explaining something, and it is a constant kind of point for criminal defense attorneys not to ask one question too many. So you don't let the witness really go all the way through and explain away anything that sounded good to you on a cross-examine or direct examination. Excuse me. So it is really about what you then bring out in closing statement rather than letting them explain it away.
I want to ask you, do you think, so if you were representing Lori, would you want her to get on the witness stand? I mean, if she did, she is going to have to answer a lot of questions.
I don't think that it would be a great move to put her on the stand. I think that there are so many bits and pieces right now that there is reasonable doubt about, right? And if she gets on the stand, it's one of those situations that it's possible some of it will be cleared up, but you can never give the right answer all the time, right? And so just the way that she answers a question could be used by a juror to say, well, she's not sad enough, or that didn't seem quite how I would have answered it, so I don't believe her, etc. And there are so many moving pieces. So while I wouldn't, it is, of course, always the defendant's choice whether or not they want to get on the stand. They have a right to testify, just like they have a right not to.
Absolutely, and there are so many different people that we're hearing from who are connected to this defendant, who are already speaking, her own husband on the stand. That may look a little strange to this jury to not hear from the defendant, even though, as you mentioned, Ashley, that is her right. We've had some moments where some dramatic evidence has been shown to this jury in court today. There was a firearm that was shown that was allegedly sold to a neighbor by the defendant, and prosecutors trying to suggest that that's the murder weapon. There was also a moment during the time of the medical examiner on the stand testifying about these bone pieces that were found, the remains of Michael Shaver. Let's go back to that moment and talk about it on the other side.